Um, One of the things they mentioned was the app intents framework. And they talked about, and I'm still a little new on those, honestly. They talked about, let's say, two kinds of schemas, though. They talked about entity schemas and intent schemas. And they said entity schemas they define like content or data that your app works with. Presumably that means that data you can expose or read in or transform in some way. But they said you use that to contribute your content to Spotlight search and the personal context understanding. Like, so if you want like their AI things to be able to do stuff with the content in your app, that you're supposed to somehow use these entity schemas to define sort of what these things are and how they can be manipulated, I guess. I don't know that much about them, but that sounded interesting. And then they said intent schemas are basically defining actions your app can perform. So you have, those two sets of things.
So that would be in the case of my app, like check in at a place. Check me in at this
that might
shop.
be it. Yeah, that would be like an intent schema to check in at a place. But maybe you have an entity schema that's to say that's maybe like a definition of a place you have checked in. Just like a data object essentially. They also talked about, they said it really quickly, something about you could annotate something as you could annotate your view with something to declare your view as being something that I think you could define something that the system can present, like, hey, I've defined this view that you can present to display or interact with this type of data from my app. So like you might have a special view that displays, one check-in message or a unit or whatever.
Okay.
And I think you can expose that view and that data type to the system. And then if it needs to, and then if you have all your check-ins, for example, donated to the system through Spotlight, so Spotlight can index them, then you should be able to talk to Siri or whatever, or some other agent and say, find me all the check-ins I've done in this area before. And it should be able to use your view to show them, or for example, or I think it's that kind of thing if I'm following it. But
would that be like show me all the conversations I've had with Luke or whatever? Like I think they made some
probably
demos
that
about
kind of thing too, I would guess.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I took a couple of screenshots on that one to look at, but I haven't spent 1 second looking into them.